and welcome to episode 61 of the Groupchat Wrestling Podcast. We are somehow still here. I do not have an intro prepared, so we're going to jump right into it, talking about how wrestling fans have absolutely shit the bed this week. Can we go right into that, because I have a lot to say about the way they treated Rhea fucking Ripley.
They shit the bed every week, to be honest. Like
They do. But this time they made shit angels and rolled around in the bed.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Annie's right. They shit the bed every week, but this was like just more embarrassing, like in a public spectacle, not just like in a wrestling sense. Like, so if you guys don't know, like WWE was in France this weekend for a Clash in Paris, and for Clash in Paris, whatever it is, and then I want to say it was a Saturday before
shit, yeah,
whatever, Clash Paris, you know, the deal, the PLE. But so the night before, there was footage of Rhea walking. I'm gonna guess it was a mall or a concourse area, and I believe she was walking to her Uber car, if I'm correct. And you immediately see like half a dozen fans, just cell phones out and everything, just bombard her, just smother her, just all up in her face, all up in her personal space, like trying to get a picture and everything. No one's asking, no one's being cordial, no one's acting like they were raised properly by their parents or anything like that. They don't have any common decency. And like, you see she's right there by her car. I'm assuming that's her Uber. They are pressed up against the car that she cannot move. She cannot get in her fucking car. And it's like, I put this on Twitter that day. I'm like, this is not, don't get this twisted that this is an overseas issue, that this is a European issue. No. This is a wrestling fans issue in general, because we didn't just see it on Saturday. We see it in the airports. We see it when you're stalking them at their hotels, when you're waiting for them overnight for them to come outside. This shit has got to fucking stop already. And I replied to one of the videos I saw on TikTok, like, one of these days, one of these wrestlers is just going to be like, enough is enough. You're going to catch them on a bad fucking day where they are tired of this shit. And you know what? Sometimes in life, you got to learn an easy lesson the hard way. Sometimes you got to learn an easy lesson the hard way. And you know what? I will not be mad or upset at it, or I won't feel bad for those fans at all, because you saw like 6 or 7 males, but you didn't see not one grown man. And let's be honest, between that whole group of supposed men, there was probably not one bar of soap or not one stick of deodorant that was probably used amongst them all.
No,
like, it was fucking
that entire
pathetic.
crowd
Not just
stank.
to see as a wrestling fan, but as someone who was raised by like great men, like my father, my grandfather's, like that, like to act like that in public, right there, to a woman, to a female that you're taught to respect, like that was fucking pathetic, and that was just sad on so many levels.
It wasn't just Rhea Ripley though. Sheamus had it as well. Did you see that? He was coming out of his hotel and he had a load of people, and they don't just like you said, they don't queue and they don't ask. Like, it's not a case of like when we were in Wetherspoons the other weekend, Kip Sabian was there, and people were like, "Excuse me, do you mind if I get a picture?" And he was like, "Yeah," and because I was like, I don't want to bother him. I was only when I realised he was actually loving taking pictures of people. Like, okay, fuck it, I'm going to go and ask him. But like, you ask, you say, please, is there any chance I could have a picture, please? These guys were going right up in front of them, putting the cameras in front of them and trying to just take selfies with them anyway, and like kind of shoving the cameras in front of their faces. It's fucking
it's this kind of shit which gives like wrestling fans like a really bad name, and we as a whole are sort of lumped into that sort of conversation. But it's the same, football fans do it as well, and I think they're sort of taught to sort of expect it on some level. But the fact that it still happens is still quite sad, because that's invading someone's like personal space, like to the extreme. And I think it's like, as Bret says, like it's especially bad for like grown men to do it to like to women especially. So
it ruins it though, because then
it's horrid. It's horrid.
Then they won't sign things. They don't want to sign things anymore for this reason. And like it's not just like, look, like you say, it's not just. I mean, you guys probably seen this. It's not just a wrestling situation or football, and it is grown men which ruin it for the kids. Because do you see that thing this week? There was a tennis when that fucking dude just pushed right in front of the kid and snatched a hat from him.
Oh,
the tennis player was giving him
at the US Open.
Yeah, fucking horrible.
Oh, he's like apparently a millionaire CEO of some company, by the way.
And then he tried to suggest that people.
Fucking course he is.
He tried to suggest, didn't he, that people online are essentially trying to get him cancelled, or whatever it was. And he said, I'm just teaching the kid a lesson. Hey, fuck you. Fucking horrible.
Well, we're teaching you a lesson, you miserable old fuck.
If there's kids in the way waiting, you let them go first, and then you ask politely, "Can I have a picture, please?" It's the only right thing to do, unless it's, Wolverhampton, Rev Pro, Mercedes, when me and Mark boosted some kids out the way so we get a picture.
Yeah, fuck them kids.
But that
yeah,
was, you know,
like
deserved.
the time at a UK house show when I pushed a load of toddlers out the way to get Bret Hart sunglasses at the barricade. However, I was a kid myself at the time. I wasn't much bigger. It was survival of the fittest, you little bitches.
Even if you
I
wasn't,
grew
I'd
up
say
stronger
that's
because of that.
I'd say that's you know, a time when it's actually
Kid
valid.
versus kid.
Yeah,
That's,
well, no,
that's acceptable.
even
Let them
if you're
fight it
adult.
out. The stronger has to got them sunglasses, you little
Exactly,
losers.
you
What have
go.
you got? Yeah, nothing. Shame.
Oh, anyway,
So, yeah,
but
shite.
onto more positive.
But-
Onto more
But
positive.
don't do it as an
things.
adult. It's not cute when you're an adult.
Unless it's Mercedes.
Unless it's that, unless Andy or Darwin.
You know,
Oh,
if you're still
yes.
if you're still listening, like and subscribe, and comment your
Yeah, go on.
thoughts.
Give us a like. We love it when you do that.
We love it when you do that. It really
We
helps
do.
us out.
Give us
But
a like,
let's talk about more
subscribe.
positive things. Come on, we're only 6
yeah.
minutes in. Let's talk about something more positive.
What should we talk about?
I quick topic right here. Listen, like it is September 2nd at the point of recording right now, and if we go back to the conclusion of All In, if you would have asked me who my wrestler of the year was, I would have said Hangman 9 days out of the week, like absolutely no question about it. But now it is over a month later, and now it's like I still have Hangman, but right here, Bandido, just on match catalog alone, since he beat Jericho for the ROH title back in Dynasty, who has had a better run as far as like the past 4 or 5 months in the ring as Bandido? And if you saw Death Before Dishonor like over this past weekend, the match with him and Hechicero, like that's a legit match of the year candidate right there. Like, 37 minutes of just fucking pure amazing action. And like
And it's
with
free, go
Bandido,
watch.
he's a great example of like, you know, you hear about wrestlers, have you seen one match of his? You've seen them all. No, with this match was a completely different match than the month before with Takeshi at Supercard of Honor. It was a technical masterpiece. It was a slugfest. It was a struggle.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, but yeah, like I would not be upset with anyone, or if you said Bandido's your wrestler of the year right now.
It's one of those ones. He's in the conversation, and it's not just because he's my favorite luchador or of all time, and possibly my wrestler of the year, any given year, even the year he was injured. But he's clearly one of those ones where not only can he just work any kind of style, he's slot into like lots of roles within like AEW and Ring of Honor like seamlessly since his return. Like he's sort of like Buddy Matthews got hurt, so I do kind of think that maybe in hindsight that this sort of run that Bandido is on right now was sort of possibly pigeonholed for the Hounds of Hell, and Bandido sort of slotted into the Buddy Matthews role due to his injury like a glove, like a duck to water. He can have a good match with just about anybody. The match with Takeshita, the match with Hechicero, like him and was it Paragon against Takeshita and the Bucks, really underrated match of the year. Like the tag matches with them versus FTR versus the Bucks, like the dude is just reliable as hell in the ring, and I don't recall a match that I've seen of his which is like really like bad. But this year alone, I think, but it also shows like how deep like the roster is, and like how you know, like how talented a lot of these people are, because now we're not going to have Ospreay for a while, we're not going to have Swerve for a while, but it doesn't matter because you've still got Bandido. You know what I mean?
I don't even think the Hounds of Hell were kind of on in line for this title, because I think a lot of things have changed since Buddy's been out. But I do think what it does make is some exciting stuff when Buddy does come back and realizes that Bandido's taking his spot with his tag team partner. Because honestly, give me a fit Buddy Matthews and Bandido, fucking hell, that would be amazing.
Give me a best of 7 series out of them.
I'd watch them every week. But like, back to the point though, Bandido is for me second, same as what you said. Bret Hangman's just edging it, just because of like not match catalog, but the emotional investment I've had in everything that's come, and I think
Hangman
that's what just pushed it above. But because of that, the same kind of thing, the emotional investment is why I probably have Jon Moxley just above Takeshita in third, because
that is my
none of all this works without Jon Moxley. It's a mixture of a lot of things coming together at the right time. One of which was Jon Moxley, and yeah, it was boring for a while, and it was stuff that people didn't like for a while. But as much as I hate to say it was by intent, I think with Jon Moxley, a lot of it was, by intent. Like, he clearly was trying to put this kind of character across, and give you a kind of a real hell situation where you wanted anybody to beat this fucker, because we've never had that, have we, for a while, where you hate someone so much and you hate a storyline so much that you just don't care, you just want to see them get beat. And so he's just above Takeshita. But Takeshita, again, I think the 4 are locked. There's no one who comes close to that 4 for me.
So
on the
like,
men's
one for
side,
me.
I would have. I still say Mercedes is a match catalogue. But I said the same last year. A match catalogue is unrivaled in terms of in a full calendar year, the amount of matches she has that are fucking top quality. That for some reason even Dave Meltzer doesn't think are fucking worthy. They're fucking unreal.
They are unreal, and like you said, I'm with you. Like Mox would be third, like right in front of Takeshita. But what's crazy, like I said, we got 4 months to go. Like and look at what they're teasing with Takeshita and Okada right now. That these next 4 months, like Takeshita can easily, I mean, not saying that Mox and the others won't do anything. He could easily like leapfrog to like 3 or 2. Because remember, in October he's facing Zack Sabre Jr. For the
that
New
title's
Japan,
coming back to the Don Callis family
for the New Japan title. That title's definitely coming back, and then we have the Continental
Thanks.
Classic at the end of the year. I mean, we got a long ways to go before that. But just real quick on Moxley, I mean, he's a breath of fresh air in the terms of professional wrestling in the sense
He's so
that
fucking good, man.
he's so fucking good, but he is what you want in a heel in professional wrestling, in terms that he does not give you anything to latch onto to like about him. I'm tired of all the fucking cool heels in professional wrestling. I'm sorry, from the other company, that it's the sing-along song, it's the WrestleMania-esque entrance, it's the catchphrase, it's the cool merch. Mox does not give you any of that shit. He is a bald-headed dude in black trunks and black boots that is either gonna knock you out or choke you. And like Andy said, he created this character that he brought a sense of doom and gloom and hopelessness to the main event scene. He took out all of your favorite wrestlers. He unalived from Danielson, for Darby for almost 7-8 months in storyline wise, and like I said,
people still wanted him to thinking he was going to win the world title at All In.
Yeah,
I mean, it was crazy.
Like I said, I mean, it's just another example of like majority of like wrestling fans, fantasy booking is just shit. If we could just be honest, I mean, but yeah, like John, like that's what I love about Moxley. He's such a breath of fresh air. Like that's what I want in a heel. I don't want anything to like about you. And then that's why the moment when Hangman beat Moxley at All In, it wasn't just that we were excited for Hangman. The moment is just that's the character stature that Moxley built amongst himself. Like he has been the true legitimate final boss in wrestling. Like this is like that final boss. Like you all play video games that you have to do 20-30 repeats and continues to try to beat, like at the end. Like that's what John Moxley
He's a Bond boss, isn't he, Mox? You got to keep coming back.
It wasn't just Mox though either. Like I don't like. Obviously, this is off topic now of the rest of the year conversation, but the rest of them, like Claudio, gave you nothing to like in his new role. But
He's
Wheeler
the most
Yuta
evil of them all, if you ask me.
Wheeler Yuta.
I think he's more sadistic than Moxley.
Well, and Wheeler Yuta has gone from someone who people actually kind of liked and wanted to turn face to being like, fuck him now. He's a fucking tit.
And
It's
amazing what you can do. It's amazing what you can do.
And Marina just like walking around with that case and just people wanted it. And this isn't like a kind of we're going to rewrite history and say it was brilliant all the way, because it wasn't. Like whether that's by design or not, it wasn't. There was a time when it was dull as fuck and everyone wanted it over. But like, again, that's like that ties into us not enjoying a heel, and I'm glad that the like in hindsight now, and because of how it transpired with Hangman, that there wasn't a point when we were talking about this heel's fucking, aren't they so good at being a heel? There was none of that. Like,
I mean, the thing is, it was one of those ones, wasn't it, when Moxley was fighting people like Copeland and like in the 4-way at World's End, which was like a bit of a wet fart in comparison to how the rest of the card went. Like the main events just sort of weren't like of the same level. But I think the
Copeland one fucking killed it, really.
The Copeland one was the big one, but I think that's when it was sort of at its lowest. But I put out a thing because I obviously. They're clearly influential, like the Death Riders, like the whole thing. Despite how you feel about how the angle went, because the Fed are ripping them the fuck off, like
the Death Riders.
That's why you got me laughing right now, because you say influential. You talked about the 4-way at World's End. You had a 4-way at Clash of Paris.
Just before we talk about this, obviously the Seth Riders is what they're known as, but we do have a question from the Discord about this, which was from Punish Bidoof, who's a top listener, by the way. Hi Punish Bidoof, like thanks for listening again. What do you make of the Freakin' Force's official name in WWE? It's called the Vision.
Is it?
Apparently,
Yeah,
apparently, I don't know. I don't watch
Fucking
it. So
I mean, they should have gone to
division.
They should have gone to fucking Specsavers because then they might see how bloody similar it is.
it's the whole thing with Becky
Triple H.
Lynch. She was already heel, but she turned and joined Seth Rollins again. And I don't know. I mean, I said it in the chat the other day. I take back everything I said about Becky Lynch. Like, I saw some clips from her match at the weekend, and that was fucking awful.
She's
like,
cringe central to
awful.
me. She's cringe central to me. I don't see anything
I'm
like.
I'm going to defend her and point out who she was wrestling.
Well, I just don't rate her on the. I don't rate her on the mic at all. I think she's a bit over the top for me personally, and I don't think I've seen her have a good match. But I've got to be honest, I didn't watch wrestling up. Maybe she had some great matches before 2019. But I don't know.
She had some good ones, yeah.
It was one of those ones, again, we talked about it a while ago, about how they've tried to recreate the Yes movement a few times. And this, there was a while when Becky Lynch was sort of in that conversation. I think it was sort of like the tail end of 2018. She was getting really popular. But not really through doing anything groundbreaking or revolutionary. She was still the same person. She just called herself the Man. And that's kind of what people were sort of latching onto.
A lot of that came from that visual of her, if you remember, with the broken nose.
She got knocked silly in a match, and she got taken out of a title match as a result of concussion protocols or something. Mm-hmm. And I think there was a movement as a response to that too, which propelled her into sort of the main event scene. That's why her Ronda and Charlotte main evented at Mania 35 after it running for about 9.5 hours or something like that.
I was there.
The crowd was so dead at the end of it, they couldn't give a fuck.
Fucking horrible. And so it was Nia Jax that broke her nose. I think it was a scramble or
was
a brawl.
Accidental?
I think it was accidental. Yeah. They were working punches, but
it
Nia
wouldn't surprise me.
That's mad,
her she was bloody.
She's a really safe worker.
Yeah, she had that moniker, but someone brought this point up on Twitter, so 2019 both Becky and Seth were both on top being champions, and 2019 was arguably one of the worst years in WWE history, and now it's fast forward to 2025, they're both main champions. It's this dog shit right now. It's oh god, history's repeating itself.
And people actually
I like
seriously
Seth. I will go on record as saying I like Seth Rollins, but his booking hasn't always been the best. He's had amazing runs, but they never seem to continue.
He's a good in-ring performer. Listen, he's a good wrestler in ring. I'm not gonna take that away from him. He's a very good wrestler.
He's the second best wrestler in the Shield. Third if you count Kurt Angle.
Third, listen. No, someone said fourth. He's the fourth if you include Kurt Angle.
No,
overall.
He's not.
He's better than He's better than Roman.
He's better than Roman. Come on.
Yeah, Roman's shit.
I think it's hard.
I'm talking everything all together.
It's hard to judge someone when they've only had about 3 matches. I think you can't throw Roman in the mix.
Oh, that's true. Roman's still a rookie. Once he gets more reps under his belt, that lad's got something.
And half of them matches are fucking interference jobs in multi-mans, aren't they? So,
yeah,
I think it's harsh. But
you need to stardom run, get some reps.
I just send Roman Reigns to stardom.
I think Seth is he's all right.
The world are good.
There's nothing Seth does better than say 4 or 5 guys who aren't even in the title scene in AEW, and there's a couple of guys in WWE I'd say are better than Seth personally. I don't see it.
Seth makes moments like nobody else in WWE.
That's only because he's got position on the card, though. You can put anyone else in that moment and they'll do the same thing.
No, disagree massively.
I mean, Kevin Nash had one of them moments when he was fucking 57 in a wheelchair.
It's
exactly the same thing.
Has that big moment feel, the instinct for timing Seth has that nobody else.
But that's what I'm saying. There's so many wrestlers that have that, but they're just not in that position. You could throw Orange Cassidy in that spot, and I think you get easily just as much.
Absolutely. I'm talking about in WWE.
Oh no, I think
I can name 20 in AEW.
Oh, that's what I'm saying. There's probably a couple in WWE as well who you would put over him, but he's got that spot because he's been the go-to yes man, hasn't he, for so long? And as for Becky, I just don't understand how again, I haven't watched a I've hardly watched any of it, to be honest, just fucking clips because I found it fucking dull as shite. But anyone who tries to seriously say that she's on the level of Mercedes, just please fucking
Oh God, no.
let me jam this pen into me fucking eyeballs one at a time.
let me-
I don't
He
think anybody could claim.
Let me ask you guys this with Seth, and I brought this up in other live streams, and I think it's right on the money. Seth is this era's Triple H in the sense that he's never been the guy, but he's the guy who works with the guy.
I'd say that's a good shout, yeah.
And the
yeah,
guy
and he's
is
a yes
for
man.
his era is Roman Reigns, and that's what they're clearly setting up. I think for next year in Mania, like he is the guy that
Again.
always works with the guy. Like when you try to
Yeah.
put the rocket ship behind him, like him being the guy, it just never pans out. 2019 is the clear example right there. You have the moments with him, like and let's be honest, the moments are the two cash-ins. It's the cash-in at WrestleMania after Roman and
cash
Brock,
shite.
and then I know that's what I said, but I'm saying we're
I
talking
liked
moments.
X, but yeah.
The first one was good. I won't lie. The
I
first
like
one, but
it.
now it's the
Runs
second
down with
one.
it.
The crutches shit. I'm
The
like,
crutches,
yeah, dog.
come on, that was cool.
We knew that was coming a mile away, but
We
like I
did,
said, I
we
think
did.
he's. You guys agree he's the Triple H in the sense that he's
Yeah,
the
I
guy
think so.
who
I
works.
mean, he's
with the guy.
he's torn both of his quads, so I kind of, I think that checks out. To be fair,
A bit of
I think-
fucking new Shane McMahon.
Yeah, I mean, he's not. He's not.
I mean-
I'll give you one. Yeah,
I'm not
I'm
saying
saying
he's
about like,
bad.
timing and moments. There is one
Nah.
person in WWE that can do it better, and that's Cody.
I
For like the sort of the big. Yeah.
I think honestly, I'm a big fan of Drew McIntyre. I'd have him above Seth
Not
any
since
day
he
of the
went
week.
to
be
Vince's fucking birthday party. I'm not.
honest.
I think there's
Well,
one who's
yeah,
clearly
yeah,
better than all
but
of them,
To
and
be
I think
fair,
that
he was probably there as well.
there's one who's better than like all of them, and he's due to return soon, I think, and that's Ilya Dragunov. I think that guy is fucking awesome.
he's incredible.
God, yes.
He's incredible. Like I've seen him live like a couple times, and I know he works for the Fed, so he's retired now. But like I would fucking watch any match of his. Like some of the matches like that he's had with like Cara Noir, like the 3 matches he had with Cara Noir were like are out of this world. Sorry, my cats are mimicking them now.
He's not the only
We
one.
need it.
Walter. I think Walter has everything.
Yeah,
Like, everything-
leagues ahead of
Yeah.
leagues ahead.
And yeah, he's probably not going to do the stupid comedy shit where he's just laughing non-stop for 20 minutes. But I don't want to see that. Walter it has everything that Seth has better for me.
It's just one of them. Like I don't really see how Seth gets lumped in like the conversation with people like Ospreay and Kenny Omega and like
it's not
all
a
that
dig.
lot.
Yeah, and it's not a dig. Like, I mean, like, he's clearly very good. I'm not saying he's shite.
Yeah, I'm
I
not
just
saying
think
he's
that, like,
bad.
I just think that, like, when you're talking about people at the very top level, he's not there. And he's not there for me. And he's very good in the level below, but the real top level, he's short on everything for me personally.
Andy, you know what you know what it sounds like you're saying Seth is? It sounds like you're saying that he's a B+ player.
Yeah, I'd say so. Yeah, and like to be honest,
Like Stephanie.
I think that's fair.
He's a B+ player. He does everything
Shocking scenes on
good,
Group Chat Wrestling.
but doesn't do everything great.
Just can we talk about going back to wrestlers of the year? I think there's someone who we've forgotten to talk about, and I think he there is an argument to be made here. What do we think of Hologram possibly
I thought you
being
were going
up
to say
there?
Truth and Table, and I was going to say, yeah, we forgot about them.
I'm talking about we'll go back
We'll
to
get
tag
to
teams.
Brandon
we'll get to
soon,
tag
right?
teams. I mean, at the end of the year, we'll do like the
I class
whole
them as
Group Chat
non-wrestler,
Wrestling
to be
Awards.
honest.
Like at the end of this year, we'll do like Wrestler of the Year. We'll do
Truth and
Match of
Table
the
are the
Year.
same
We'll
person,
do
I think.
Outrunners. What's the point?
Brandon,
They win every-
Brandon.
And
Serpentico.
You're not fucking funny.
Hologram, I think is a good shout. Apart from his injuries, he was off for a while, wasn't he? I think that's the only
A little
thing that
bit.
would hold him back, and
Yeah.
the lack of any real good story. I did see
Well,
Wrestling
for now,
Mark was
up until
extremely
recently.
excited that he's actually getting a story now. Which do you think this had been on the cards for a while, and then it was just his injury that delayed it?
Yeah,
Like, do you think he's had this other
Yeah,
dude ready?
Yeah.
Because
I think so.
was it like it was over a year ago when they trademarked it, wasn't it? Because I think
Yeah,
we all
it was about
kind of
then.
fantasy booked saying what if because this was
Yeah.
before Sammy Guevara come back, and we said what if it's Sammy Guevara?
We thought it was Brian Danielson for a bit.
Yeah.
What if it is?
It still might be. If he gets hold of the fucking mask and legs it to the ring before the other guy.
I think today we've got the confirmation from Sean Rossat basically saying it is Hologram's old tag partner from like a decade ago. But he's going to go by a different name, obviously. In fact, even Mose was actually asking us on Twitter. Shout out Mose. He's going by El
Mose is
Clon. I
ace.
think that's what they're
El
calling it.
Mose.
Yes.
How are we feeling about it?
I think it's going to be great. It's cheesy as fuck.
I'm really looking forward to it.
It sounds as cheesy as fuck, and it sounds like something from the fucking late 90s, but I can't fucking wait.
The thing is, if we're looking at how Tony Khan's booked Hologram so far, I think we're in for a treat. And looking at his treatment of like luchadors in general just tends to be good unless you're someone who thinks that he's in like fucking, I don't know, purgatory or whatever he said. I'm talking about Ray Phoenix, whatever he said. Still a good wrestler, like, but yeah, I think with the whole glitch in the sort of the Matrix, like the red light, and
it was good
everything
the way
like
they did that.
that
I
was
like
really
that.
quite interesting.
It's I think it's cool. I think like we all know he's unreal. You watch his matches and he's like the Matrix. You know, you're like, how the fuck is he doing this stuff? This is insane. And he's so fucking smooth. But like, all he's needed is some kind of thing to make us care, because we haven't actually kind of, well, personally me, I haven't actually give a fuck. You know, I've enjoyed watching his matches, but I haven't actually cared about it, because there's, you know, aside from that one half, you know, bit of entertaining, not story, but, you know, kind of something when
Banter,
when the conglomeration were like, is he an actual hologram? You know, that was great. But
like,
like,
are you real?
Yeah, but like, besides that, all he's been doing is coming out and having great matches, and that's great. You know, that's great. But I want to see something to make me care, and this does make me care.
The thing is as well is that he shouldn't talk. I think he should just be silent. I don't think he should cut a single promo.
Yeah.
I agree. I think the other one should talk.
But yeah, I agree. Yeah,
the other one. Are we doing like a Sub-Zero Scorpio thing here? Is this like...
That's what it feels like. Yeah.
It does feel like that. Like, so yeah.
Oh,
like
let's get
Mortal Kombat,
Glacier involved as well. No, my joke.
No.
He's there. He works there, doesn't he? Isn't he training in the background?
He does.
Yes.
Is he a producer or something? Yeah.
Get him a mask on.
Another question on this note. Hologram does have a bit of story to him, and that's the fact that he's still undefeated, technically, so he's still not been pinned. The amplified one, Lally Barlow, says who's the one who's going to break Hologram's winning streak.
I think it's.
Is it going to be El? Do we think El Con's going to do it?
Of course it is.
Yeah, that's why they're bringing him in. That's why they've done the winning.
The only way it's
surely.
not is if he interferes and fucks him over, and then someone else picks up a cheap win. But
yeah, that seems really poor, doesn't it? You know,
have it be here.
I was thinking, like, you know, he's undefeated, so why would he not be one of the next guys in line for TNT match against Kyle Fletcher? I would let Fletcher be the one take that.
This is why we need the ranking. This is why the rankings were so good, because that they would Hologram would be. That's an easy storyline to set up a TNT title match at the next pay-per-view.
The rankings
Hologram's next in line.
They were perfect storyline for that, because you could get so many fucking storylines from rankings. Like why is someone getting a title shot? Because they fucking earned it. It's in the fucking rankings.
That's it.
Yeah, and Tony Khan's a statistics guy. He runs like a stats company. You would think this would be right up his street.
I think just Dark going kind of fucked it, didn't it? But he did hint that he wants to. Not necessarily bring Dark back, did he? But he said if the opportunity is there. But he said that he wants to make Ring of Honor more like the Dark feel, doesn't he? Because did he not say that's why he's purposely been dropping the odd episode on YouTube to try and give that feel back to people? The odd weekly episode, not the pay-per-view being fucked up, so he just gave it everyone for free, which was nice.
Speaking of episodes on YouTube, did we all see the 2 Being the Elite episodes that were dropped?
No.
What were they doing? Was that the Jack Perry phone call? Yes.
Yeah.
I saw that. Yeah. Sorry, I don't remember the episodes. I thought you were talking about like they actually dropped
all right,
them.
they were only short. I'm taking what I can fucking get.
Okay.
All right,
Quick
I've got
segments,
a withdrawal here.
I'm hoping it's coming back, though. I'm hoping this is leading to actual episodes and a full.
Yeah.
They've got to be so broke that they bring back BTE.
It's because Lucy wants Brandon Cutler back, like at any possible juncture. Like, I mean, that's what Tony Khan's just going to do it just for Lucy.
I don't
just
think
for me. He is. Tony,
take
care.
If he won't give me the fucking Outrunners winning the
How
world
many
title
more of the
together.
Outrunners? You have had the Outrunners on TV so much.
I don't care. I want them to win the world title.
Brat.
They need to win the world title and the TNT title.
I mean,
and the unified title and the women's tag titles before
take all the Mercedes 12 titles, give them to the Outrunners. Did you guys see Joey Janela's idea for this clone thing, by the way? El Clone.
No.
It was great.
No,
he
tell me, because
it's so good.
I need to find this.
He said he wants it to eventually be more of them popping up to the point where there's 12 of them and they all take Mercedes titles one by one. And then it turns out that there's a clone of Mercedes that then takes everything.
Good. Yeah,
I was like, that sounds good. Sounds like one of them old Bruce exploitation films from back in the 70s.
In real life, I'm a geneticist. I can make you a clone. Give me a call, TK. We'll have a cloned. I mean, she'll be a baby. It will be an actual baby that you will have to raise for like 20 years. But long-term storytelling, give us a ring. We'll work it out. I can make you 12 holograms. I just need an easy bribed ethics committee and a fully stocked lab.
Did you just hear what Andy said?
A hand. That
Fucking
grew
hell.
up to be the SmackDown fist, I heard. Did well for itself. Mae Young's.
We've someone give me a hand here because I need to bring this back on track.
That was shocking.
What are we talking about?
What
can we talk about how you were right about Daniel Garcia?
Talking of that, Mose also asks, should Garcia join the Death Riders?
Yes.
You mean the
I
shirt
don't think
I
don't
think
he. Hang on.
To be
It's
wearing.
shirt of the week. It's shirt of the week.
There will come a day. Today is not that day. I have my shirt of the week. I'm going to run out one of these days.
That's a thing now.
Yeah.
Okay. Here's the thing.
I want him to.
Mose has this idea that the Death Riders are going to go after the Don Callis family, and as a result, the Death Riders are going to turn face with the addition of Takeshita. Now, Mose, I love you, but I don't know what you're smoking. Like that, this is really bizarre. I'm not sure how you got there.
Look, there's a few times when Mose suggests things, and I think I have no idea what someone put something in his drink or something, because this is absolutely atrocious. Mose, no, that's terrible.
Bad Mose, no biscuit for you. Bad.
No. So the Death Riders aren't turning face, like, for one thing, and Takeshita's. I've not seen any indication as to where Takeshita's going to join the Death Riders. For of all things, Takeshita's going to split from the Don Callis family, but we'll get to that. As to Garcia joining the Death Riders, I think I'm not opposed to the idea, but I think it's a year too late. I think that he should have done it last year.
100% too late. Yeah.
I think the perfect time when Garcia just re-signed and everyone was like really behind him, and I'd say he was quite one of the hotter acts in the company, especially after the feud with MJF. Turning him then would have been a real shock to the system, especially if you weren't going to turn Orange Cassidy and give him a leather jacket and have him come out and ditch his old theme music.
And you also had, though, the fact that, like, he had the opportunity to turn against Adam Cole multiple times. He had the opportunity to turn in any one of them 3-man the 6-man matches. I just feel like it went on, and it just got to the point where it got stale. And I get that they're trying to do something now, and but I do think it's too late, especially if it is what people are theorising, that it's back to that shot of the 4 and they're going to be the 4 to take the Death Riders down. First of all, that as a group against the Death Riders, not for me, because there's one person in there who stands out like a sore thumb and not suiting that group. Orange Cassidy, fucking yes. Darby Allin, yes. Daniel Garcia, maybe, I don't know. That's it. But the other fella, not for me. No.
No, but I think that's too much of a giveaway. I think what would be a real red herring is if you have Garcia trying to stand up to Jon Moxley, only to then, I don't know, like hit Nigel McGuinness in the face or something, and then Jon Moxley saying, "I'm proud of you," because the whole point, isn't it? Like they're referencing is that Bryan Danielson, when it was the Blackpool Combat Club, wanted Garcia to start with, but he sort of settled on Wheeler Yuta, and that could be sort of the turning point, so that Moxley brings Garcia in. Well,
he didn't settle. He did not settle. He wanted Daniel Garcia, but Daniel Garcia decided he was a sports entertainer.
Well, Bryan settled for Yuta.
Well, he still wanted Daniel Garcia. He got rejected.
Yeah,
that's what
okay. Yeah. But so Wheeler Yuta was a good enough second option.
I am too.
But I think the I think that's kind of going to be what we're going to see unfold, is that Moxley might end up casting Yuta aside.
I hope so.
Yuta's going to have no one, and Yuta's going to have no one. So then Garcia's going to take his spot.
What Bryan couldn't do. They're destroying everything Bryan had. They'll go after Moriarty next. I'm telling you. If they get Garcia, they're going to take out every person that Bryan pointed at as my guy. They're going to go after Nigel McGuinness if they're not careful. He's not careful.
And that's what I think. So I think, when we do eventually
he's
get
Bryan's guy.
I'd much rather see that than the 4 that they're hinting at, to be honest. Give me Orange Cassidy in everything. I want him in everything, preferably as a heel. But I'd much rather that, what you're saying there, that they're going to do that than what it seems like they're going to do.
So I think that they're going to have...
And
Darby's going to assemble a team. Darby's going to assemble a team to tackle the new Death Riders, whether it's Moxley Claudio, Gabe Kidd, maybe Pat comes back pretty soon, hopefully, and then Daniel Garcia. Maybe Jack Perry's in there. I don't know. I mean, I'm riding this wave till until
Jack
it's dead.
Perry
fully.
is in the back of a van.
No,
Injecting weird shit into his
he's cloning kill. He's babysitting Kill Switch at this point.
They're retconning all that
There's
stuff.
an
now,
egg
and
somewhere.
Darby's going to
with a
assemble
little
a team to
Luchasaurus
go up.
clone.
Darby's going to assemble a team, which is going to consist of him, Orange Cassidy, possibly Eddie Kingston, Bryan Danielson, and Nigel McGuinness, and it's going to be fucking great.
I think it'd be Daniel Garcia. Honestly, I don't think they're going to do it. I wish they would, but I just don't think
They
they're going to do
are.
it because they're pushing
How
this.
they're going to end up.
I hope so.
We're going to end up with Daniel Garcia and Wheeler Yuta facing up, because that's probably why they're adopting Garcia company for hook while Mox is at work. He's been chewing the furniture, peeing on the rug. Leaving the telly on hasn't worked. But Yuta and Garcia, they weren't raised together. They're not from the same litter. You can't just adopt one. They're going to end up fighting, and Yuta's going to end up
really hope so.
I hope
because
ditching them.
I've got a bad
And
feeling
I
they're
think
just going to.
Yuta joins Darby's team.
I've got a bad feeling they're just going to go with the 4 against them, and that will just be so fucking predictable to me. And
Wheeler Yuta joins them.
I really rate Daniel Garcia. I think he's a phenomenal wrestler. He just needs this fucking jolt of
I love
something.
him.
And like
He's top 5 in the world for me. I adore him.
And it's just not there at the moment. They need, and I think he's a great heel. He's a great fucking heel. He was so good as a heel, and I feel like if he gets that with that arrogant, cocky, just fuck you attitude he has.
That's what's happening. He's joining the Death Riders. Yuta is
I really fucking hope so.
Joining Darby under the
what I
mentorship
think.
of Bryan Danielson.
And I still want Orange Cassidy to turn at the end and be like,
No,
smack them in. Orange.
stop it!
You know what? Let me
Stop
throw this
ruining
out
my
there.
good
So
boy.
It's too late, but whatever, it'll breathe a little bit of life into the end of the Death Riders.
so we got Garcia and Moxley. I think this Saturday on Collision actually, and let me just throw this out there. What if Garcia wins? What if Garcia wins, like by a fluky, like how Mox beat Garcia last week? Roll up. What if Garcia wins by roll? And just figure, Mox isn't really mad. He's not angry.
Wouldn't surprise me.
Happy. He's proud of Garcia because remember this past Wednesday he's trying to coach up Garcia.
Yeah.
He's in his head. He's trying. So what if like Garcia wins, but like I said, Mox isn't angry. He's not upset. He's proud of Garcia. I mean, that's kind of like what the whole Death Rider story started with. He wanted the young guys to step up. He wanted the young guys to
That's
level
what Mox
up.
has been saying since he took the title. He wanted to inspire them to step up, to become better, because he didn't like what wrestling had become. So you're right. If Danny wins, Mox will propose on the spot. Join us.
They did tease the fuck out of us on Wednesday though by having Daddy Magic wear white.
Yeah.
And you're like, it's going to happen at some point, and that I just can't wait for the Daddy Magic promo.
There was no way that was an accident. There's no way that was an accident.
Give me the Daddy Magic promo after if this happens. I honestly, you got promo of the year potential, because I think Daddy Magic is a top 5. Joe, he's probably top 3 for me promo in the business.
He's so good.
He can make like. Whether Danny Garcia stays face and Daddy Magic gets twatted by someone else, he could make it work for me. Just Daddy Magic, just honestly, him unleashing on John Moxley and Yuta, he could make anything work. He's that good.
I do think.
I hope not.
I
but
do
like,
think
I'm
this
just
whole
saying,
thing is.
He could make it work.
It's prime. It's primed for Garcia turning on Daddy Magic, because Daddy Magic's the one person who's not abandoned him, who's stuck by his side through all of it, all of his ups and downs, and it will be a real full. It would make me care about Garcia. I mean, I'm nothing against the guy, because, like I said, and I agree with you, Andy. Like, he's great in the ring. It's just I haven't cared about him since he had the TNT title.
There's no emotional hook there at the moment, and it's a shame, because like in ring he's phenomenal. And it's just the way they've booked him has been so fucking bad since the TNT title.
I think it was a mistake putting him in the C2 last year, personally.
Yes, because that killed all the defenses. It killed all the top defenses.
Yeah, and it's what started. I mean, I guess the TNT was on a bit of a decline by that point, but it's what it made it sort of hit like rock bottom in terms of like
I totally agree.
To me. Because he lost 3 matches, and he's like he's the TNT champion. Well, come on, man.
It wasn't just that for me. It was the fact that he wasn't defending the title because he was in the C2, so the title was just there doing nothing. And then he was in a load of trios matches, and it's like multi-mans, and it's like the title just felt pointless now, which is why I'm glad Carl Fletcher's bringing it back to Christian-esque glory.
Absolutely.
But while we're talking about Christian, I would just say that I also think what is going to happen still, and
Come
I've been
on,
saying
let's
this.
go.
No,
Let's go.
I've been saying this for about not that. I've been saying this for about a year now, and I still think it's going to happen. Bryan Danielson is going to help Nigel McGuinness when he eventually gets the shit beaten out of him. He's going to come down and save him. And the reason I'm pushing this is because, and I've pushed this for ages, and it's not happened yet, but it will. And I say relate this to Christian because Dan was pushing a Christian and Colt reunion for a year, even when it was nowhere near happening, and eventually it's happened. So I'm going to stick to my guns as well, and it's coming through. It might not be now, it might be in 3 years, but it's happened.
No, see, that's what I think. What if Danny Garcia is beating the shit out of Nigel McGuinness and we don't see him on Collision for like 2 weeks? So Daddy Magic and Tony Schiavone are on commentary for 2 weeks. And Daddy Magic, every time they talk about Garcia, Daddy Magic is just there like, I'm not saying anything. Like, I can't, I don't have the words. And then you tune in week after week to see what's going to happen. And then eventually Nigel comes back, stands up to Garcia and says, what the fuck are you doing? But then he gets beaten down by the Death Riders. And then who can make them cower in fear? It's Bryan Danielson. Like Darby can come in and try, but he's going to get the shit beaten out of him because he's Darby. And maybe then Orange Cassidy is back by then and he helps him out as well. But no, Bryan Danielson, man, give me Bryan Danielson helping Nigel McGuinness, because that's a full circle moment from last year from Grand Slam when Nigel was tapping out. He shouted the words to Bryan Danielson. He said "thank you" and tapped out.
Well, and it's just like the thing I pushed for so long as well is like, and for me it's the Axl Rose Slash thing where, he may fucking hate him, but he hates him. No one else is allowed to hate him. He's his person to hate.
My asshole.
He knows him. He loves him. That's why he fucking hates him. And that, at the end of the day, Bryan Danielson's never really been bothered. He's just been. It's always been one way, and he's just
sells him.
Yeah, and it's been like the respect they have there.
Looking at
the respect they must have, like, and there's a love there. There's not hate. It's love.
It's wrestling's version of Goku and Vegeta when you think about it. Like Nigel is Vegeta, and Danielson is Goku. Like Danielson is so positive. Like that's his enemy. He has nothing but positive things to say about Nigel, but Nigel just like, no one's gonna beat you. I'm the one who's gonna fucking beat you. I'm gonna take you up.
Do you remember that interview he did with Yuta after they killed
Brian
with the bag? And Yuta said, "Are you mad that we killed the Batman before you could, Joker?" And he was like, "I am a bit actually. Yeah, it didn't go too fucking well."
When Wheeler said that, I was like, "Oh shit, you had that in you. You had that in you." Like, whoa.
He also said something else though, didn't he? Yeah, I think did he not also like respond like with a, "Look, you better fucking watch what you're fucking saying though." Back to Yuta, like it wasn't like kind of, it was like, "Hey, come on, that's enough." You're going a bit too hard on him now.
Do you know what? I forgot about the Yuta Nigel interaction. It's happening. I'm more convinced than ever. That's going to link in with
the Garcia thing. I'm telling you right now.
I'm more convinced than ever now.
Do you know what? I'd actually like a tag run with Yuta and Garcia, with them break up over a period of a few matches, and
it's like if they who's trying together.
Who's trying to compete for Daddy Mox's attention?
Yeah, exactly.
Because if you remember, Mox distracted Yuta with a promo. He was like, "Here, boy, look over there. Go on, look, talk to the people." And he was like, "Audience, can you distract him while I go shoot my shot with this guy out here?"
That would be great.
While he's hitting on Garcia.
If they're tagging and Yuta is not tagging Garcia in because he's so desperate to try and be the one that finishes it and shows that he is the fucking one.
Look at the matches they had for the pure title. When originally Bryan strapped it around Yuta and he said, "This used to be mine, it's yours now." Garcia won it and Bryan strapped it around Garcia. Those two have always been linked. Yuta and Garcia have been linked for years.
That's true. Like, and one of the first Ring of Honor pay-per-views that was in the TK era, if you like, was Garcia and Yuta for the pure title. I think it was Yuta who won it off of Garcia.
Yeah,
which is very good actually. But that's a good shout. I think this is where hopefully we start to see some character development for Garcia as a heel, with having mercilessly beat the shit out of Nigel McGuinness and Daddy Magic.
It has to happen because for the last
Taz as well. Maybe Taz as well, because obviously Hook's come back, and I know Andy's not very excited. He beats the shit out of all the commentators.
I would
murder every commentator.
He just goes through. He goes after Excalibur next.
I would much prefer Hook.
Flicks him in the back of the neck.
I would much prefer Hook to beat up Taz. To be honest, honestly, I just because
Christian, Jesus.
When he had that thing, when he had that thing with with the trios, you know, with the ops, and Hook come back and he gave him a look of like, what the fuck you. But now he's just come back and it seems like he's just a face again, and it's like I was quite interested because I was thinking
I don't think he is.
he needs a change of something. He needs something to make me be bothered, and I think Hook as a just going fucking rogue would be actually quite compelling.
I think we'll get it. We got him coming back with the send Hook signal because they were doing the whole Taz in the Hall of Fame thing. We got that moment of him coming back. I don't think
they've got him new music and that. I don't think they're going to throw that away, are they? After like a week or two, I hope so.
No, but I think it's going to be bad guy music.
Well,
I think he's going after.
They
Hobbs
threw away
and...
the rated FTR T-shirts after like a month or something, like maybe 2 months. So you know,
I think the music works for a heel.
Supposedly he wanted it as well, so it's probably just TK just, you know.
And they lost the license for the old one. They had to have new music.
It was just to fuck Action Bronson off, wasn't it? After he started talking shite about AEW randomly at W,
which just came out of nowhere. That was a bit of a weird one, but anyway, like it's pretty interesting stuff here. So you know, we talked about.
And he was better than Jelly Roll in that one match.
Oh, but Paul Walter Hauser's better than both of them. Like
Paul Walter Hauser's fucking amazing. Like the work he has put in.
I love Paul Walter Hauser as an actor. Fantastic. He's a proper wrestling fan as well. He's got great taste in wrestlers because he said Chris Jericho's on his Mount Rushmore, and he actually explained why, which is like, you know, people fucking, and he went into a lot of detail as to why, and I actually do agree with him.
He really knows his stuff. Hauser, like,
you
could talk wrestling
he's
with him for a long
not
time.
in it. He's not in it for like a payday. He's not in it just for like a payday.
He's worked his ass off. He's trained so fucking hard for years now.
And he's not just he's not just sitting ringside at big shows doing the odd match. He's turning up at indies. He's the Progress Proteus champion.
Yeah, he is.
That is a hell of a title to defend.
Am I talking shite, or did he have a spot with a flaming table last year? And was it an MLW show? Maybe.
Possibly.
I'm sure he did have a spot with a flaming table. Maybe I'm talking shite and it was someone else. But he's you know, whatever. He's had a lot of fucking matches that you wouldn't see any of these celebrities go anywhere near.
No, you get in the ring with the likes of Bullet, Crowley, and Miller. You know, and QT. Obviously, that was fucking amazing.
Yeah.
But
and he was in during Mania week. He was in a match for Progress, but obviously he was in Vegas. I want to say, but I can't remember against who he was fighting. But
was that
he's fantastic.
Yeah.
It was. You know, we talked about that match. Penciled in Nikki asked us, you know, just going back to last weekend. Obviously, I wasn't here last week because I had fucking COVID, but so sorry about that. But what were just really quickly? What were some of your like biggest like holy shit moments from that weekend? Just she asked us. So let's reminisce for like 5 minutes.
For me personally, it was probably Athena. Turning up at
Ring of Honor with
Red Pro. Yeah, I just did not see that happening at all. I was like, what the actual fuck is going on?
She fought Mercedes Blaze, wasn't it? Is that right?
Yeah, Mercedes Blaze come out whinging because she wanted the match, you know, blah, blah, blah. And then Athena's music hit and we were like, oh my fucking God, what the fuck? This is amazing. And then that, you know, obviously me and Shirakawa then came out after the match as well. It was great. It was like, that was a holy fuck moment, you know, it really was like.
Freaking Claudio throwing a Darby off the announce table. The main event this past Wednesday was insane. I mean,
I think Nikki was asking us about like the Forbidden Door weekend.
Oh, Forbidden Door weekend.
I could be wrong, but but you're right. That spot was fucking awesome.
What made it even better was that like the commentators, they moved away from the table, so there was no talking.
There was no commentary for like 7 or 8 minutes.
Yeah, there was no talking at all through that spot. It was just fucking Claudio just full force like throwing Darby like bam.
Emergency.
Bouncing.
My Paul Walter Hauser knowledge is fantastic. He did put someone through a flaming table. It was Matt Cardona. Put Matt Cardona through a flaming table.
Well, no, he didn't go through it.
He put him through for the finish. You know, fair play, Paul Walter Hauser.
Sorry, but
bloody hell!
No,
I'm clapping myself.
He's a
Nice
fucking
gun
super.
No one else.
He's doing flaming table spots, and like I said, you just go over the freaking the match with him and QT. Like, dude, he did like some rolling Death Valley driver on the outside through the table. That shit looked fucking stiff as hell.
QT is phenomenal, man. It's not. This is not a slight on Paul Walter Hauser at all. But QT could.
Oh God, no.
QT could have a good match with anyone. Honestly,
he's so underrated.
I honestly think he could get a good match out of Seth Rollins. To be honest.
He could take me to 3 stars if he had to.
Nah, not if Dave Meltz is reviewing. You're the wrong sex.
Oh God, no. Oh God, no.
Yeah.
No, the vagina tax would take a star. I could get one of you 3 to 3 stars.
You know what? Let's stay on the topic then. Like, what wrestlers like
okay.
off the top of your head could take anyone to a good match?
Before we go on this, can we go back around and finish the question? Sorry, because I interrupted like a dickhead.
Yeah.
So what were your holy shit moments from that
ADHD
weekend?
at work, people.
The holy shit moments from the weekend. So
I have mine.
Go on, Lucy. Yeah, you take the floor.
I did the Backstage tour, which was like 200 quid, and it was good value considering what we've seen people paid for a pin at fucking Clash in the Castle for $1,000. But okay.
And then a 30-second photo op.
Jesus,
it sounds awful.
Part of what we got to do was we went into the arena while they were still setting up, and we got a talk from like some of the production ring crew people telling us like how the clock worked, how they set things up, everything like that. And we got to see them build the cage. It was down and they were building it, and I was sitting there watching them all build it, and I was like, holy shit, they're putting this cage together. That, and then we got to walk up the entrance ramp, and I actually the group was gone. I stopped, I turned around and I looked out at the O2 and I was like, this is so fucking cool. And then getting to see Backstage, and we met wrestlers. It was absolutely incredible. For me, that was the holy shit moment, getting to see behind the scenes and having them tell us how it all works.
There's another big one I can think of, but I assume Dan might mention that one. So
is this the one that we saw together?
Yeah,
at Riot.
Yeah. That was a fucking what the fuck is going on?
Yeah. I mean, for the purposes of the podcast, so at Riot Cabaret that I was at on Friday, which was a fantastic show, like start to finish, really kicked the weekend off in a really positive way. It was just like really, a lot of it was quite silly, but there was actually like some really good wrestling. Like Man Like DeReese and Spike Trivet had a really good match to kick off the show. Nina Samuels and Cara Noir, who's a heel in Riot Cabaret, had like a match where both their managers were in cages. So it was a bit sports entertaining, but it was it was good fun. But another really good technical one was Jordan Breaks. He was supposed to fight Flash Morgan Webster, but he has some family issues. So we had Nino Bryant come out for his his Riot Cabaret debut, and they had a really good technical 15-minute match. It was great, but one of the
holy
highlights
shit moment, man, come on.
Yeah. One of the okay.
It was so good. No, it was good. It was really good.
For me, it was it was when at the end of the show, like the main event, like Nico Angelo and Mark Andrews had a really good main event match. And Nico Angelo was being beaten down by not only Mark Andrews but Danny Luna. What's his name? The big dude looks like Lance Archer. I've completely forgot his name. His name's gone blank. But also Wild Boar was there. Wild Boar was there. Mike Hitchman. They were beating him down, but then just out of nowhere, fucking Pete Dunne turns up. Like not a single person was. I could guarantee you in that room, nobody even predicted that was going to happen. But I was just there I was just there. The whole room it was one of the loudest pops I've ever heard at a wrestling show, for one thing. But also everyone was just sort of looking at it like, what? And it really was that whole thing. Like the forbidden door did feel well and truly pushed down. Another thing on that show, which is also a big holy shit moment, was when Tate Mayfair's pulled out a table with a Pepperami logo on it, which got me laughing for about 20 minutes.
That wasn't the
Mayfair's was in a dress.
That wasn't the holy. It wasn't the holy shit moment I was thinking of. I was thinking about Tate Mayfair's actually getting shot and dying.
Well, so I wanted to go into the Pete Dunne moment was mine. I'll be honest.
No, it was the Pete Dunne one I was on about. I'm taking the piss, but yeah, Tate Mayfair's getting shot was a nice.
Tate Mayfair's has been shot in Riot Cabaret lore. Tate Mayfair's lost the Wedding from Hell match to James Ellis, which Simon Miller kept getting twatted. He was the referee. He kept getting twatted. And then he says, "Fuck this! I'm going to make this a triple threat match," and then starts beating the shit out of Tate and James. And anyway, James Ellis wins the match. After hitting Tate Mayfair's, who is sort of donning the wedding dress half on, sort of, but just over his top, he didn't put all of it on. He hit him with the wedding photo of him and Classy Karen, and then at the end of it, Tate is looking really sad, and I actually for a split second felt really sorry for the guy. So he goes backstage. The second half starts, and then we have another match or two. Another one. I forgot another one.
Come on, Dan.
Is when They get shot. It's like, and then everyone started singing the EastEnders
It's
like
not a
theme
fucking
song at the
review
end.
of Riot, Dan. Come on, man. Get to the
Sorry,
fucking
man.
point, man. We
You
spent
can't
20
have
minutes
all
on
the moments,
fucking
you have to
Riot
have one.
here.
You have to choose one moment.
Scotty
It was
Too
fucking
Hotty.
2 weeks ago.
Scotty Too Hotty. Nobody talked about it last week.
We did. We brushed over it all. Fucking hell,
Yeah,
man.
You weren't here. How do you know?
I know. I watched the episode.
We're going to be fucking...
I watched
The
the
Oh, I
time's
don't watch
fucking
it, so
ticking
I'm
away
not.
here, man.
Scotty Too Hotty
I wanna
turned
go to
up,
bed.
and that
I
was
have to
great.
pee.
There you go.
All right.
Scotty
So
Too Hotty turned up.
The point
and it
was, anyway,
Now,
the
before we-
Bruiserweight one was the
Oh,
one
go
I
on.
was thinking of, which was
Yeah.
probably the same.
All right. Well,
You could probably cut.
So what were we on? What were we on? What
No,
was
we're
the
leaving it,
subject
it's fine.
anyway before Dan decided to give us a review of...
before we move on, can I
of
make
Riot.
a statement that I have been accused by Tate himself, as well as some other people, of being the one who shot Tate Mayfairs?
I thought it probably was you, to be honest.
I
it was
mean,
not me.
you weren't
did
at
not-
RevPro. You weren't at RevPro that night. So do you
I
have an
was not
alibi,
anyway.
Lucy?
Yes,
Well,
maybe.
I'd love to
I
see
did
that.
not. I would like to say for the record right now, I did not shoot
So,
Tate Mayfairs.
okay, so, Brett,
Holy shit
where were we?
moments.
What was the...
Holy shit
we were
moments.
talking about
Holy
people who
shit
can give someone a good
moments.
match.
Pete. Oh yeah. Jerry
See,
Lynn.
this is fucking like... This was 2 years ago now.
He's
I
one
need a
of
DeLorean to get back to where it was.
Yeah,
Wait,
so,
wait,
Call,
right, come on.
call
Let's
Truth.
all
He can
have-
call. He can give you one.
Give me
All
your
right,
guy who can carry anyone to a good match, and you
Yes.
can't say Bret Hart because that makes it too easy.
Truth Magnum.
Mine is Jerry Lynn. If you've seen him carry RVD through,
Oh.
Someone had to.
yeah,
Someone went there.
Jerry Lynn is my guy who even I could have a good match with. You can't say QT either because he's an obvious
Somebody who can carry anybody to a good match.
one. Anybody.
Mercedes.
Oh yeah,
That's true.
should have banned her as well.
And someone will say the fucking Britt Baker match, but it was actually an all right match. It wasn't a terrible match.
It was a
It
good match.
was not as bad as people say
No.
it was.
Oh, God, it really wasn't.
She can have. She could take anyone to a good match. She's fucking unreal.
I'm going to be biased and say Bandido because
Yeah.
I've yet to be proven wrong.
No, you can do. I'll give you
Yeah,
that.
he's never had a bad one. Yeah, I'm going
Brett, what
Jerry
about
Lynn.
you?
Who are you going, Brett?
Oof. You know what? All right, you say I can't say Bret. You know, I'm gonna say, because I have the greatest example of this. I'm gonna say AJ Styles, simply for I want to say it was SmackDown back in 2017 where they made the genius decision of putting the World Heavyweight title on Jinder Mahal, and it was Jinder Mahal versus AJ Styles. This might be the greatest example of dragging a broom to a 3-star match. AJ pulled it off. AJ gave Jinder Mahal his greatest in-ring performance.
No, I've got you beat.
I'm sorry, like just for that match alone, it was good. For Jinder Mahal, it was probably a 5-star classic for him. For AJ, it was Friday. So I'm gonna go AJ Styles in my opinion.
I probably not got you beat, but what you just reminded me of there was Bryan Danielson on a random fucking collision getting Satnam Singh to have a good match that was watchable, and it was
God,
actually.
yeah, when he was just going.
Oh,
It was a good match though. It was good.
Yeah,
it was.
And like
It's
I've never
just
seen
random.
Satnam
It
do
was like,
anything at all since.
If you look at like the grid of like his matches from like that 12 to 18 months or whatever, that one sticks out like a sore thumb because you look at like the opponents like Kyle Fletcher, like fucking Will Ospreay, like Moxley, all this kind of stuff, and then there's just Satnam Singh in the middle, and everyone's like, "Wait, what? He actually had a match with Satnam?"
It's crazy.
I think he did that on purpose.
I
He
do.
was getting to choose most
Yeah.
of his opponents,
Yeah,
and I
yeah,
think
of
he
course
just
he
went,
was.
"Oh, you want to see what I can fucking do?
Of course
All
he
right, well, I
was.
will show you what I can."
100%.
And he picked the most different people.
I
he
think
could
Of course he
find.
did.
I think he wanted to give Satnam something. Give him a
Yeah.
bone. And he fucking gave him way
He
more.
cemented
than that.
himself
It
as
was a
the
good match.
greatest of all time.
He probably is, isn't he? I think it'd be hard to argue with that.
Yeah, of course.
What, I
I
mean,
think when you talk about the best of all time, you have to say, except for Bryan Danielson, you can't include him.
You see, I still go back a lot, and I look at the kind of Ric Flair and Terry Funk, and
Or Funk, actually, you could
I
argue.
feel like it's like as much of a cunt as he is Ric Flair as well. He's in there, but I feel like you can't cross generations because these guys were on the road, fucking, doing 2 matches some days and all that. And could Bryan Danielson do that? I think he probably could, to be honest. But he didn't have to, thankfully. So, although saying that, he
If we're
did
going for the time.
Yeah, he did have a
I'd go
schedule.
Mr. Perfect is the greatest of all time. If we're going with considering what they were going through at the time,
He's up there. Yeah,
grading on a curve.
I'd say personally for me, he's still behind Funk and Flair. Funk and Flair, phenomenal. And like actually, when we were talking about John Moxley earlier, I was actually going to say he reminds me of, like, in terms of that pure heel thing and made with no redeeming features. That's what Terry Funk was like at times in the late 80s. He was fucking unreal. So fucking good.
It's because
Funk's
also like Terry
incredible.
Funk had that whole thing of where he had like, you know, the 80s Terry Funk, and then there's also the next phase of his career, which was deathmatch Terry Funk as well, which you know, he had these two vital like elements to his like regime, like his resume, if you like, and that's why he's probably like the greatest.
It's crazy. That's why it's a bit randomness, but that's why I probably struggle to have like I do still think Flair's the GOAT, but for me Terry Funk probably does edge him because Flair was just Flair forever until he fucking ran it into the ground and became a fucking
That's
embarrassment.
the thing for me.
Terry
Flair
Funk
was predictable.
Terry Funk changed non-stop. He
Funk was
wasn't
not.
Ric Flair he wasn't Terry Funk all the time. He was different versions of Terry Funk. There's only one version of Ric Flair, and it was the same one until now when he's still trying to fucking be that character, and it's completely fucking
And the Nature Boy
ruined
wasn't
it.
even his to start with.
It was well. He kind of he kind of took what was already there and modified it, but he made it his. I mean, it's hard because of what they did in the different eras. I feel like it really is hard to compare. It's like comparing footballers, you know, past footballers. The conditions are different. You know, what they had to do is different. It's impossible.
Maradona doesn't get into like today's game because it's a completely different game.
I think
You know
he's
what I mean?
probably
Like
one
Pele.
who would, but I think it'd be tough. It'd be tough for him. A hell of a lot fucking harder.
because the game was a lot slower. Anyway, we're not going to go down a football tangent and
No, we're not.
talk about the
No,
mechanics.
but like my point was that there is. I think Bryan Danielson probably is the one who would have, because when you see his early career when he was doing fucking 20 Butlins matches in fucking
Actually,
on
can
a
we get some
Saturday morning.
comments from people on this? Can we actually get like people in the comments right now? Can you tell us for their time who is the greatest? Well, we're grading on a curve here. Who was so far ahead of anyone else of their time?
It's always a hard one because, like I say, the conditions are so
Who's the
different that
best?
you can't. I don't feel like you can just say the greatest of all time. There has to be a few for me over the different eras and the different things.
But also you have to look at it from, are you talking about like not just someone who like was a box office success or who drew the most money and that kind of stuff, but who actually really kind of changed the game and made people think that actually wrestling could be different. Like, and that's why, I mean, I would say Bret Hart is in that conversation because for ages he's like,
the new generation thing was.
Honestly, I found Bret Hart boring as fuck back then. To be honest, probably the age. He did nothing for me at all.
At a time when like the business was very dominated by like characters who had like job titles and stuff like that, Bret was like a breath of fresh air and like and Steve,
his music, that guitar riff, before Austin even came anywhere near WWF, Bret was being cool.
I mean, yeah, a bit so. Yeah, of course, it's not quite the same as like Terry Funk, but at the same time, I think that can't really be ignored because of how like influential he was, and his promos weren't always like the best and everything like that. But I think that he deserves a shout for that alone, and the fact that he stood out and was actually like the face of a company that was really struggling at the time.
The problem you have as well is that like a lot of it's not a real sport, so a lot of who some of the goats are getting held up are. They were the people chosen.
You know what? No,
okay.
I am going to argue that. Yes, it is a fucking. If that's not a real sport, then neither is gymnastics.
Okay,
so.
but you know what I mean. It's not on merit. A lot of the time.
No,
it's not regulated like professional.
It's not amateur sport.
A lot of these guys. I'll take back. It's not a real sport. It clearly is. What I meant is, it's not. You're not there on merit. Like you can't. Like people go, oh, look at John Cena is the greatest ever because he's won 18 titles or whatever the fuck he's had. That's like saying fucking. Rocky is the greatest boxer ever because he had fucking ever. Like it's not actually something he's won. Yeah. You know what I mean? It's you're chosen on merit.
He was booked to win.
So like it's always hard on that because a lot of people will throw champions and people with records and stuff up when there's some guys. In mind,
the greatest of all time is who did their job the best, like who did what they were given.
It's different categories, I'd say. It's probably a completely different fucking episode for that, but there's different categories for each.
So. On this topic, whilst we're talking about the olden days, we did have a question which kind of feeds into this quite well, actually, which I've just noticed, which is from Shill Bill. Could a wrestlers' union be realistically created now, especially starting with in AEW and how that would force the Fed to treat and manage their talent better?
No.
Like, is it feasible?
Not for me. I don't think it is. I'd love it to be, but I don't think it is.
Yeah. The second it started in AEW, that's great. They could absolutely do it, but nobody would join because they would be blackballed from the Fed.
I've said this before, though. I was a contractor for independent contractor for 10 years, and when you take one of these contracts, you can't work elsewhere. That the thing with AEW wrestlers is they're allowed to work wherever they want, which is the one thing that they would. The only way it would work is if they're then, essentially only AEW. That's the only way it would work. I don't think it would work outside of that. But then you'll always have the people who won't do it because they like the selfish people who'll be like, well, I don't want. I'm all right, and that it would fuck it up for everyone. I don't think it'd work.
Yeah, I can't see someone like, as much as I love the guy, I can't see someone like MJF or like Jay White signing this because they're getting paid like a lot of money, and then if this union happens, it sort of puts them at risk of their sort of spot, if you like. It's kind of, I mean, I know he was a cunt, but it's why Hulk Hogan didn't want to sign it and basically went behind Jesse Ventura's back to send to Vince and ratted him out because he said like, well, no, because otherwise I'm gonna lose my big payday.
So many selfish people out there who won't care about everyone else and they'll only think about themselves, and it's a shame because it 100% needs it. But the problem is you can't use collective bargaining and collective, power essentially when all these companies are different companies spread all over the place. It's I don't know.
I'm not saying MJF or Jay White are as egotistical and selfish and horrible as Hulk Hogan, but I guess
it's
one of them.
They're just the kind of, you don't mean them guys in particular. It's just like people of that power and popularity would be like, I'm okay, good luck.
Exactly, yeah. Like they're getting paid a lot of money, rightfully so, because they deserve it.
It's a shame,
fantastic. But at the same time,
if they could have something, it would be fucking great. But like, I just don't see it in it because of the way the landscape is. I just don't see it working.
And certainly WWE are not going to allow it, especially nowadays, because what they're trying to do is they're trying to sort of do away with AEW as much as possible because they don't like paying wrestlers as much as they are, as much as they have
to. If you look as well,
they want like
wrestling
UFC
is very
fighters,
international.
Yeah. No, it is exactly. Yeah, and independence. You'd find it hard to regulate independence as well, wouldn't you? Never mind international.
Yeah.
So it's shit. Like I would love it to have something like that. But I just don't see it happening.
It's a big problem because.
Oh, go on.
No. I was just going to say because WWE had this whole thing like from years ago where they set up their contracts so that they would be independent contractors, but they weren't allowed to work anywhere else. And if that had not actually happened, then maybe there could have been a chance. And if they were literally classed as full-time employees, but they're not, but unfortunately, because they've dominated the industry for so long, because they've dominated the industry for so long, it requires a lot of reverse engineering, which I don't see is going to happen. It's certainly not going to happen for at least like 30, 40 years, if it is at all. So
it's a shame.
It's going to change, not necessarily with a union, but with competition. The conditions are already changing thanks to AEW. Wrestlers are now able to command a better payday because they have options. It's not the Fed is the only game in town. I can't remember what it's called, the one that's playing Hologram's evil twin.
Ares, I think. Yeah.
Is that Lucha is where my knowledge is weakest, but wasn't he offered a WWE contract and he chose AEW?
I think so. I think because he worked for Hologram before he was Hologram was working in AAA. That's where where he sort of made a name for himself. And I think Ares, I'm sorry if I'm pronouncing that awfully, was of the same sort of caliber. So Conan naturally had, some influence in, what he did, prick. But I think you're right. I think there was something, he was offered a chance to go to WWE / be a part of like the AAA wing and then, occasionally do stuff here and there. But he was like, no, do you know what? I want to go to AEW and bet on myself. So that's why I really hope this whole thing works out for him because, people who do that, obviously it is a big gamble and it might, it might not work out, but I'm glad he's actually like taking a chance. And this is why it brings me back to this whole thing, which sort of wrecks my head, is that a lot of people are, very much still of that sort of mindset where WWE is the place to be. Whereas I think over the next few years, you're going to see more people start to see AEW as a place where you can be successful. And hopefully that gets instilled into like the next generation of like Brett, talent that starts coming through the ranks.
Brett, what was you going to say though? Because you're very passionate about the union thing. So what was your...
I think it's impossible now to do the union now. Like when Ventura tried to do it what was it before WrestleMania 2? I believe it was. He was trying to, so that was his best chance right there. I mean, because not just professional wrestling, but you look at other sports like here in America, like football, baseball, and basketball. Like, because I think I forgot who it was from the Raiders that he was in the elevator with. Like the story was, he told Ventura like, you guys need a union, because I think that's around the time maybe when the NFL started to unionize right there, and it's just crazy. Think of it this way: here in the States, like NFL has a players union, NBA has a players union, MLB has a players union, and I don't care what anyone says, those three leagues right there are miles ahead of, in terms of like revenue, or miles ahead of the WWE. Like, I don't know why people have it in their head that WWE is bigger than the Super Bowl, bigger than the World Series, bigger than the game. You're out of your fucking mind. Like, it's not. Mad. It's in those leagues have fucking unions for their teams, and those are players who are making like $50-60 million a year. Like, I mean, for the top superstars here in the sport, especially like baseball, there's no salary cap, so they have unlimited potential, like earning potential right here. But but
they're also paying through the ass for like concussions and stuff like that in the NFL. Certainly when a player gets concussed,
are they
they're protected and they're sort of given health insurance and all this.
No, American like sports ball.
They're employees, aren't they? Yeah.
No, they're employees. They're contracted, but like I said, they have the players. They have the players union, so they have they're taking care of like as far as like their medical and stuff like that. And if they reach a certain,
but WWE doesn't want to do that. That's the thing.
No, exactly.
I think WWE does, but it's kind of at their own discretion, isn't it? Like, because you always hear these stories of really good stuff that they do, but then you'll hear stories of people where they've just fucking, that's a good to do GoFundMe, and Chris Jericho's donated a stupid amount of money because he's got like he wants to save tax or whatever, and he's just giving money to people.
Yeah, and you know what Jesus, we were just talking about like how in a few years how more people are going to choose come to AEW than WWE.
Hopefully.
Like if anyone needs to look at why I think a lot of people should consider AEW more than WWE, just look at the people who are being pushed right now in WWE. Like this past weekend, the Clash in Paris card, 90% of the wrestlers have been who have been on the main roster over a decade plus. There were, with the exception of maybe Braun Breaker and like someone else, like everyone else has been there a decade plus, where they're not pushing any new supers. Like I said, with the exception of Braun Breaker, maybe one or two others, but the majority of the card, the majority of their booking premise is nostalgia and viral moments. That's it. Like, they literally ditched their whole storytelling and long-term booking models for the clickable moments, like Brock Lesnar coming back at SummerSlam, and now AJ Lee is coming back for WrestlePalooza.
Who's AJ Lee?
Yes, AJ Lee, Mrs. Punk, the mother for Larry, the ugly dog, the
ugliest dog in the world.
Yes,
anyway.
I've got to take you back a bit there, Bret. Though, are you you're talking about these people thinking WrestleMania and stuff is bigger than some of these sports. Are you telling me that the WWE wouldn't just kick the FA Cup out of Wembley so they could do WrestleMania? Because I heard it was well bigger than that, and they could do that.
Here to give a soliloquy about this, because that is the
surely
dumbest thing ever.
Surely WrestleMania is bigger than the Premier League and the FA Cup.
Honestly.
If they think that.
I remember, I think it was last year during the Super Bowl, someone was asking him like, what's bigger, the Super Bowl or the FIFA World Cup? And people was like, the Super Bowl. I'm like, even me as an American can acknowledge that's not even fucking close. Like, I mean, me going to a game on a Friday night with my mother to West Ham, and like a regular game, I'm like, shit, this is like, this crowd is like WrestleMania. That's like in terms of numbers, I'm like, shit. So the kick like Arsenal out of Wembley, like for WrestleMania, you're out of your fucking mind. That's not gonna happen.
Apologies to Bret's mum. I don't know why he took you to watch West Ham. That's fucking disgusting.
That was the only available.
It was the only match. It was the only match that night. Yeah. All the other ones were on Saturday and Sunday.
I have some breaking news. Drew Parker's been announced for Thrill Kill. I'm very excited.
Yeah, he has. By the way, stay tuned, because we are gonna not today, not now, but I mean for in a couple of weeks we're going to be doing like some more like indie show previews, and one of them is going to be on TNT. So yeah, just stay tuned.
TNT,
subscribe to the podcast. Subscribe. Don't miss an episode. Don't miss an episode.
Can't mention yet, but I'm going to be a wreck.
Dan's
something's
chilling
going to
today. I
happen.
like it.
Fangirling wreck.
I know. Of course I am.
That's
of course I am.
2 subscribe requests. I'm going to do one as well. Please subscribe and like, and also
I was
put a
gonna
comment
say
or a
because-
dislike.
I was going
Go
to say
on, Brett,
because
you have to ask as well. We're all
Mel
shilling.
hasn't, Mel gave me a lot of inspiration, and I wasn't here last week, and I was
shilled
really
more than
inspired.
anyone.
I know. So,
The amount of
no,
stickers
like-
that are all over London,
Vandalised
man.
the
London's
whole of London
defaced.
with stickers. We're all getting arrested.
London's
We'll be
destroyed.
painting roundabouts
The-
next. It's a slippery
the-
fucking slope.
Just-
Don't go
just,
fucking there. Fucking hell. Anyway.
Flag shaggers.
Anyway, look, I'm
Hang on,
conscious of
Brett
time.
hasn't asked people to subscribe.
Oh, go on,
Brett.
go on, Brett, go on.
Get it together.
This is your middle of the episode reminder to please subscribe to the Group Chat Wrestling Podcast on YouTube, Instagram, and TikTok. GW Podcast UK on Twitter as well. Follow us for weekly updates on any and all news regarding the podcast. Like I said, follow us on Instagram and TikTok. GW Podcast UK. We upload about 3 to 5 clips every week.
That's a
Please
fucking
like,
natural,
share,
isn't it?
and subscribe.
That was
Yeah,
That
amazing.
would have been so professional
you
if
can
you
do
hadn't
that,
said it was the
Mel.
middle of the episode and it's actually the end.
you
my
can do
bad.
that. You can do that every single time now.
Brett,
And
It's
you
like
do
a-
not upload clips. I keep making clips and no fucker puts them on.
Can we just record that, Brett, and like add like a little jingle in the background, and like we'll just play it every now and again.
Absolutely.
Oh.
So yeah, we could do that.
No, so
just-
do we have any more questions then, Dan?
We do. So, I mean, I want to apologise to a few of you because a lot of them have asked about the C2, and I mean, I want to give them the answers that they deserve, but A, we don't really have time, and B, it's a bit too early to talk about like the C2, if you ask me. But
I think
like
we could probably talk about that next week maybe, because we do kind of wonder whether there's going to be any British influence with the
that's one of the
over here,
questions
yeah.
with AEW coming to Manchester and Cardiff. Like the C2 will sort of
Now
be in and
play.
around.
Let's
in and
go.
around that sort of time, so I think it is kind of Michael Oku is in that conversation. But again,
hope so,
we can dissect this like later on in a bit more detail. Where I think maybe like we should
Robbie
book our own fantasy like
Robbie X,
C2
amazing.
fields and stuff like that, and it could take up like a good half an hour because everyone loves fantasy booking in wrestling. So, but to anybody whose questions you sent through, thank you again. We can't always answer all of them because they just don't really fit like the narrative flow of the episode, but we do appreciate them, and if there is a chance to answer them next week, then we will.
Is there any
so
left
again,
we can just quick fire off to?
Go on,
So,
throw a couple in. We've got 5 minutes.
Yeah.
Mose asks another one: who stops
Fucking
Ishii's
Mose is a
unstoppable
greedy
run?
bastard, man. That's 3.
I know. Well,
Go on, let's go.
He's my
If-
favourite. He can ask as many as he wants.
It's a really quick one.
He's on drugs
apart
again,
from-
is he?
Oh, I hope not. He probably needs some help after that Takeshita take. But who
Still
stops
can't believe that,
Ishii? Who stops Ishii's unstoppable run? 'Cause
Wrestling
Ishii
Mark
won a
when
match.
he wins the lottery.
Yes, because you answered that in the Discord.
gonna
That's a
upward-
cheat. It's a cheat. It's just, I think. I mean, Ishii is going to put he'll probably put Serpentico over if you asked him to. He's got no problem taking a pin.
Here's one. Josh Alexander. He's got 2 pins. Might get a third now.
That's true.
Wrestling
That's a good
Mark,
point,
I've never seen him
actually.
so excited as he was when he got that second pin.
Vibrating with excitement, yeah?
Yeah, I mean, if anybody, Ishii would put anybody over. But the thing is, he could do it, and everyone would still love him just as much like the next week because they got to see him because he's so
boss,
fucking
isn't he?
good.
He's so good.
Yeah.
Amazing.
He should
I
be
don't know,
cast
I-
in the new He-Man film, I think, as Ram-Man. He's like the perfect casting.
No, do you know what he reminds me of? He reminds
I
me of
will.
Master Roshi from Dragon Ball Z.
Yes, he definitely gives me that Roshi vibe. Just oh my god,
This is an anime-heavy episode.
I know,
Oh, it's just.
Any more
When you hear
questions?
my
Let's
Kenny
go.
Omega
Fire 'em off.
Yuri on ice
I'm in
to
question
shout
and
out.
answering mode here. Let's go.
Yeah,
All
I
right.
mean, Shill Bill asked another one. He asked 4. I'm not going to be able to do all of
Pick
them.
2
but,
of them. We could have done 4, but Dan did a full Riot review, so we'll do 2 of them.
Well, okay, well, you're adding more time by referencing it. So, who
It's your
fills
own
the
time
2?
you're wasting.
Who fills the 2 vacancies in the main event scene with Swerve and Ospreay out? So, if we're going 2 main
That's
event
actually a
scenes,
tough
who do
one,
we
isn't it?
elevate from? I mean, it's a long question. I think.
Not Hook.
Brandon Cutler.
Oh,
It's his time.
okay.
Wait, the answer's already been kind of answered already since he already came back at Forbidden Door. It's Takeshita. Takesha's one of them right there.
But
Takesha steps in.
Not if he
into-
wins the New Japan
Yeah,
title.
But
You
exactly.
cannot
if he
have
wins
him
the
being in it.
IWGP title, he's going to need to be in New Japan a bit more. I
Yeah.
think that's the thing.
Kyle Fletcher and
Ricochet.
yeah,
Yeah, I
Jack
think.
Perry.
Ooh.
Listen,
He's
Lucy,
Orange
I'm
and
gonna break
Orange
your heart
Cassidy.
right now,
Orange
Lucy.
Cassidy.
Lucy,
Orange Cassidy, yes.
hold up, Lucy. I'm gonna break your heart right now. If and when Jack Perry comes back, it's only
on the
if
card.
he is there to control that beast that is Luchasaurus.
I've got it. Adam Copeland.
Hush.
Adam
Quiet,
Copeland.
Andy. You've lost your speaking
Yeah.
privileges. He's busy with Christian. He's in Rated Arseholes.
I just want to see people cry again, to be honest.
Yeah, all right. Derby. It's going to be Derby.
I did
Derby and Orange.
Orange Cassidy, yeah,
That's it.
definitely.
No,
Preferably with Adam
I
Jeff.
think. I think Eddie Kingston's coming back soon, so I think
Eddie-
he'll
Oh,
be
he's
in
ready.
the conversation.
Jay White, when he's ready, that would be
Jay
lovely.
White's not going to be back this year. He's not
Is he
going to be
not?
back until early next year, I think, at the
Really?
earliest.
We
So,
don't-
unfortunately,
Do we need any anyway? There's Kenny Omega's still knocking around. We got a card. We got Hangman Adam Page. It's not like there's a fucking lack of talent.
we
in
got
that fucking
MJF.
talent.
MJF
we haven't
is
talked about
right there.
MJF. Exactly.
And MJF can
who
turn
knows?
face anytime.
The way that they're doing it, Mark Briscoe could be well and truly in that sort of taking
Max
that next step
Caster.
now.
He's the best wrestler alive.
Yeah, Mystico, fucking Bandido. Dude can do no wrong.
Bandido and Brody when they split.
Right.
And when what's his face comes back, Mr. Ripley.
Buddy
What's his
Matthews.
name? Fuck, Buddy Matthews. Yeah.
Buddy Matthews. Yeah. So yeah, there's
Very
loads.
Talented Mr.
There's
Ripley.
loads.
Yeah, so he's got to be, hasn't
The
he?
most committed man in the company. So really quickly, let's just do a quick one here now. So do we
only gonna
reckon
go an hour.
Alex, also from Shill Bill, who challenges Tony Storm next? Is there a tournament to decide the number one contender? This is a really good one. I can't really pick it off the top of my head, but if I had to go with my gut, I'd say.
I have no fucking idea. I haven't even thought about it. But she's in
Queen
this.
Aminata.
She's in this group
They
at
can
the moment.
just. Queen
No,
Aminata.
see, I
it'll be gay
think the
porn
next
and it'll
one-
be beautiful.
I think the next
Or
one.
Statlander if she's turning heel.
Well,
Could be, but I don't want to take
it.
another loss, and I don't see her winning it yet. I wanted to go on a run of a few wins. I have.
Are you talking about Statlander or Tony? Because Tony's winning.
Tekla, let fucking Tekla have a shot and lose.
Oh, yeah, that'd be
See,
nice.
I think we need to get the women's blood and guts thing going now before we decide.
Do you think this is going to be all out?
It seems like it's too late to do it.
And you've
To
got
build
have
something
two
for it
rings
now.
For
I
the
know.
whole show.
And it looked shit
That's
when
why Blood and Guts should be a TV special.
it looked shit when
Mm.
WCW used to do it with World War III. It was terrible.
In
But that's
Yeah,
3
Manchester.
rings as well.
It's got to be a TV special. I think it
Manchester.
should be a TV special. Like it should be the
Yes.
whole show should be surrounded about that match right there. But whoever fights Tony, I don't know. But I mean, listen, the one who's gonna take the belt off of Tony, in my opinion, just came back recently. I think it's got to be Hater.
Yes.
Kinda like- it's got, and I say the perfect spot.
Yeah.
Full Gear. Full Gear. Correct me if
yeah.
I'm wrong. Was it Full Gear that Hater beat Tony for the belt a couple of years ago?
Oh, yes, I think it was.
Was
I
it?
think it was
2022.
it was the same year that
Mark
MJF
and
won the
Cage match.
title from Mox.
22.
I think.
My
I
only
think it was
problem with
that,
that
yeah.
is my only
nice.
problem. My only problem with that is the fact that I wanted to have that belt for Wembley next year, whether she goes into it or wins it there. And I feel like if she has it now, that's a hell of a long range.
So,
she's gonna have to have.
but I'm not opposed to that. So I think there's a pre-made feud with Tony waiting for Jamie Hayter, but I think they need to do. Hayter needs to get revenge on Tekla, and I think that needs to happen in Blood and Guts.
I think this is right. Yeah.
So I think after that, you need to have the Hayter and Tony feud. Hayter says, "Look, I'm not finished with you. You in storyline, her and the Outcasts, when Tony, this is, beat her for the women's title, and Hayter was off for like nearly 2 years or nearly, a year and a half or something, a long time anyway, and then revisit that." Hayter says, "You didn't beat me properly," and then that's a Full Gear feud. Hayter wins the title and then goes into Wembley as the champion against whoever, Mercedes possibly, but then. Because I think you can't really have her win the title at Wembley if Ospreay's going to win the title at Wembley.
You
Yeah.
can't do the both. It's too cheesy. You've got to have one go in as the champion. And look, at the end of the day, she should have gone in as the champion last time. So,
Right.
Who do you think, Pep? Who's winning? Pepper says Jamie Hayter. Sorry, guys. Dog
Respect.
says Hayter.
But I think as for the next challenger, I don't know, man.
a tough one,
There's so many talented women. Get Penelope Ford. Give me Penelope Ford and Tony Storm.
wouldn't
Please,
say no
please.
to that,
I
yeah.
fucking love Penelope.
She's
Most
excellent.
underrated wrestler in the world, Penelope Ford.
She's had a class year. Like, she
God,
came
yeah.
back.
Or
I'll give Megan Bain another
Billy
shot.
Starks.
I think Billy dethroned
too
Athena.
soon. I think. Yeah.
Too soon?
I think so, for a world title shot.
Because they had the match on Dynamite, didn't they? And I think Billie Starkz, I love her. I think she's fantastic, but she's nowhere near on the level where she's going to be convincingly beating Toni Storm. I think Penelope Ford could come close, but I still think she'd end up losing. And she's not going to win the title yet. But
this is what we have to think about, though. It's the fucking world title, and like you don't want to have a situation where Mariah May, before she retired, was a champion, and they just kind of put some people in with her who basically had no real fucking business being anywhere near the world fucking title. It's the
What about
it's the
Mina?
pinnacle.
so, what was
Mina
that?
Shirakawa.
That do you know what? That wouldn't be a bad one if she can turn on it. But just coming off a Ring of Honor loss, I think they'd need to build her up a little bit more first, because you can't go from a loss of that straight into.
She's also an interim champion there, and I think they're going to probably have her in Ring of Honor for like a bit more because of the her being the TV champion, and also bear in mind like a lot of the women that we've talked about, like Billy and Queen Aminata and stuff like that, they're in the pure title tournament as well, which has just kicked off.
Yeah,
as we
like
know.
Serena, Deonna.
So,
I know I've just said they need to build up to be at that level, for the actual world fucking title. But what about Marina Shafir? Maybe she may not have had the matches to get it to that level, but she's been, in terms of at the top of the card. And I'd take that.
She's been carrying a title for
randomly
a long
just
fucking
goes
time.
after Toni Storm and give that, and it's a
If
win
she-
for
oh,
Toni
what-
Storm, and then
what if she steals Tony's title and puts it in a briefcase and carries it around? Tony could make some gold with that.
Yeah, she probably could. Yeah,
Imagine what Tony would do to Marina Shafir. She started sniffing her. Fucking
I know.
hell. It would be beautiful.
well,
it would be absolutely amazing.
if we're at the
She's
end,
not biting her and coming out
before we
alive.
shoot off, can I ask one thing?
Go
What
on.
do you think?
Okay.
Like one thing that really baffled me this week on Collision, Big Bill picking up the win over Juice. Makes no sense to me, because the Big Bill stuff has completely cooled off to the point it's completely dead now, when they should have turned him ages ago. Juice is on his comeback. It was a bizarre win for me. It made no sense. And it wasn't like there was any shenanigans either. It was a strange one.
I don't know, because we had a question a week or so ago about whether Big Bill and Brian Keith have legs as a tag team. I don't think they do. I don't think they're going to be tag champions. They don't strike me as that, like, at that level yet. And Big Bill has legs as a singles guy, if you ask me. I like Brian Keith.
Yeah.
It's not, but it feels like again, Juice has just come back, and they were just the Bang Bang Gang need to sort of be re-established. And Colton got hurt by the injury, so I think if this is going to lead to possibly like Ace Austin like joining the Bang Bang Gang as a means to say, look, we need to band together, we need some numbers, we need some strength in numbers, kind of thing, then I'm okay with the loss. But because Big Bill. Again, but also there's an argument that Big Bill shouldn't be losing random matches each week. He should still, because he's 7 foot tall nearly, and he's still a fucking beast in the ring. He can still go. Like
it's also the fact that
I almost want them to sort of protect him in the event that Jericho comes back and actually says, "I'm so proud of you. Well done. Like you've actually you haven't won a title yet, but here you are still proving that you're listening to what I taught you." And that's
it was just a strange one. They should have pulled the trigger on this fucking 8 months ago, but it just feels like they've all cooled off to the point where there's no interest in any of them. I have no emotional interest in any of what they're doing at the moment, whereas Juice Robinson came back and gave that really kind of good promo, even though he looked strange with no beard, where he was like, no more fucking stupid bullshit, no more pissing, pretending to piss like a dog, no more of this, I'm going for it. And then to come back and just lose, it just, I don't know, did feel a bit fucking pointless to me, but it was the only negative I had in that show.
Yeah. If they're using it to bring in someone else, then I will take it. Like you said, Ace Austin, maybe. Just because they do need another member. They can't hang on.
If
Jay White's not coming back until next year.
Yeah, Jay White's out. I don't know about I don't know about Colton Gunn either, but I think
they can't just tread water.
Ace Austin is a natural fit for them because he's ex-Bullet Club, and he kind of just fits the vibe. I think he'd go his entrance with what they do would go so hard.
He had like the ace card like coming down, like when you do a circle around that shit.
Yeah,
and he's just got the card up. I mean, and Juice Robinson, I think up until now we'd only ever seen him on the full moon. Now he's got his new regular domesticated appearance. Maybe losing is part of that. Sort of he has to find himself without all that.
It
depends for me how they do it. If it's just a case of he lost because he's a loser.
And one more thing, like I don't know, like spoilers. You all seen the spoilers for Ring of Honor?
Yes,
Dan knows what I'm going to talk about. If this match happens, it's going to be fantastic. I can't wait.
Tell me when it goes off.
I
when
love
we
one.
finish
Dan loves
recording.
the other. Well, I love the other one that Dan.
I love both of them.
I know.
I think
Okay.
he's amazing. He needs to
Anyway.
be used more. And yes, sorry for the last 2 bits.
So-
I need to go to bed. I'm very tired.
All right, like and subscribe
we
because we haven't
will
said that.
love you and
See,
leave
look at
you.
us being
Like
all
and
professional
subscribe
podcasters.
and comment.
I'll love you,
and
they'll leave you.
peace out.
Bye.
Peace.